Live? All right. Hello, everyone. How's it going? We are live. I'm actually really excited today because I just figured out something really cool, which is this is really silly. So I know all my YouTube friends. I was like, oh shoot, like how do I start increasing this quality of this video? So it turns out I could actually record or go live both um whatchamacallit, on YouTube as well as, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't even know. Oh, wait, are we live? Hey, if you can hear me, please comment so I know that this is working properly. This is my first time actually going live on my computer, and it should be good. Yeah, I think. Oh. All right. All right, I'm tripping out just a little bit. I'm hoping this all works perfectly fine. All right. Oh, I see 2 viewers. That means we're good. We are rolling. Cool. Thank you so much. So today's topic, I did not post it. Um, I want to edit the video title on whatchamacallit, on YouTube, but it's on Facebook. Today's the importance of going with the flow. That's our topic for today. And I just had a little moment today where I had the opportunity to self-reflect on my past and how, in a way, for like the 28 years of my life, I've lived most of my life predominantly in the state of anxiety, like this state of like feeling anxious. And it's this constant feeling of, I'm not doing things right. I should be more productive. I'm not doing enough. Like that's always been my story. And yes, maybe there's these little moments where I feel good. There's these little moments where I feel relax, but it's always one of those like it's cool to relax once in a while, but you don't get to keep relaxing forever, if that makes sense. So with that being said, for anyone who is watching on YouTube, can you do me a huge favor and just comment if you could see? Be-
Oh,
because I am. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Oh wow. Hey, please give me. Thank you. I see your comments. So this is tripping me out just a little bit. Control room. I got to figure out how to do this. Chat. Okay, you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna play around with this. So the challenge right now, this is so trippy. You know what? This will be okay. I have my computer screen is a huge hot mess right now. I got like so many windows open. I realized the chat function does not work in the actual the streaming. We'll call it the streaming software or whatever it is. But I could see it if I pull up the chats right here. So perfect. If I miss your chat, if I miss your comments by any chance, please forgive me. This is my first time doing this, but I think I think we are pretty good. Project Elevate says you're not John Cena, so I can see you. There we go. All right. So, yeah. So I want to go back to the topic of today. Today's topic is the importance of going with the flow. So I realized, like, how do we be happy in our lives? Really, that's kind of the main bigger message of like the purpose of my life in a way. Like, how do we enjoy our life? And again, I'm I'm this imperfect human being. I have my challenges, and all I could do is do my best to share with you what I believe will make us happy. Well, what I believe will make me happy, what I believe might make you happy. At the end of the day, no one really truly knows the answer. We only have our experiences and our knowledge and our wisdom to rely on each other. There is no formula. There is no special guideline that says if you do this, you'll become happy. In a way, people have created that over time. Sure. But what I realized today, so today was a very simple day for me. I actually woke up late. I woke up actually very late today. I went to sleep really late last night. I think I went to sleep at like 3 a.m. and I woke up at 11 a.m., which for me would be very ridiculous. For me, normally I would beat myself up over like, oh my goodness, Richard, I can't believe you slept in until 11 a.m. And normally, again, I would beat myself up. However, last night I gave myself permission to go to sleep late and to wake up early because I had other priorities. I decided to stay up late to talk to people and to whatever you want to call it, do some work. And for me, given my schedule, I knew that whatever, because it's winter break or whatever, I knew that I would allow myself to go to sleep that late without feeling so bad. Like it wasn't. Today was we'll call it a work day, but I was perfectly okay with going to sleep late and waking up late as well. What I realized is when I woke up in the morning at 11, I did wake up earlier, but then I decided to sleep in even more. What I realized was that I don't know how to say this. Like I felt very at peace. I felt like I didn't judge myself. I didn't say, "Oh, Richard, you're so lazy. You woke up at 11 a.m. You're so unproductive. You wasted your whole entire day." Normally, that's a conversation that would go on in my head. But today, that wasn't the conversation. I woke up at 11, and I realized that I chose to wake up at 11 a.m. this morning. And when I woke up, I knew, I was like, okay, I had 8 hours of sleep. Perfect. I feel great. And now what I get to do with that 8 hours of sleep is I get to be productive. There was no shame. There was no that negative energy of me putting myself down. It was I don't know how to say it. It was just acceptance and acknowledgement. It was literally just like, I just felt very at peace. I knew what I had to get done today. And guess what? I got it done. Like I finished all my work already. And I don't know how to say this. It's like sometimes if you watch my live streams, you'll see me kind of go back and forth in terms of my thoughts and opinions. I think a few days ago, I talked about how, I made commitments to exercise every single day. And when I push it off to the next day, that's in a way that kind of breaks my commitment of exercising every single day. And I don't know how to say, like, the more I kind of sit down and really think about what is the purpose of the things that I do. So I'm going to take exercise, for example. For those of you who don't know, I'll repeat it again. I would say about November 1st, I made a commitment with my accountability partner / friend / coaching client, Scott Huynh, that every single day, 7 days a week, that we would go exercise. Now, how I personally define exercise is at least 30 minutes of exercise every single day. Now, right before this live stream, I had I had about 1 hour, and I knew that what I want to do, like I want to work on today. I want to work on like lifting weights today. So like chest and abs, like that's what was supposed to happen today. I sat him, as I was sitting in my room thinking, looking at the clock, I could rush to the gym and rush to go get dinner and then rush to come back here to do the Facebook Live. Or what I can do is tomorrow I could go into the gym for twice as long. So I could, do the same exercise that I plan to do tonight, plus an additional 30 minutes of running, cardio, stuff like that. And I realized for myself, I'm like, what is the point of me like pressuring and making myself feel so anxious? Like being anxious does not make me happy, So again, today's conversation is about the importance of going with the flow. It's the importance of almost like allowing yourself to relax. Again, I don't have all the answers, but this is just my feelings of today. By the way, Tacky Vanilla, hello. Zubaida, hello to you too, and Anathox as well. Thanks for saying hello in the comments. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, so my main point of today is maybe just consider that life does not have to be so stressful. I think for a lot of us, I don't know, we all live in different perspectives. At least the way I grew up, it was very high pressure. It was always go, 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 go. You're not you're not doing enough. You need to do more. You need to study harder. You need to, you need to not only study harder, you need to get involved with this. You need to do this. And it was always super, super stressful. And I guess in a way, I feel like I've trained myself, however I was raised, created this little habit that like it self trains myself to feel anxious all the time and feel like I'm not doing enough. But let's go back to the exercise example. I could have stressed myself out and went to the gym and rush about 1 hour ago, and I knew like I would have been cutting it super close. It would have been like a lot of pressure. Or I could do the smart thing, and instead of wasting so much time to commute to the gym and commuting back, I could double my workout tomorrow, do the same amount of time. I would say the same amount of effectiveness, the same amount of effectiveness, maybe even more. I think if you block workouts, in a longer segment, you burn more calories and stuff like that. Like you're in the state of whatever, losing weight and stuff like that. It's not even about losing weight, but I think you lose. You burn. I'm just gonna say you burn more calories when you do 1 hour workout versus two 30-minute workouts. I don't know the science behind it, but that's just my guess based off of how our body works and knowing that we have to burn through the water slash whatever you want, the water or stuff like that before we can, we start burning those calories or fat, stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, that's my thought. All right. So again, this whole conversation, like I was having dinner just right before this at a local restaurant. And as I was sitting there, I kept thinking to myself, why is today so cool for me? Like I realized today felt so good for me because I was relaxed. Like I was genuinely enjoying the moment. I was genuinely just appreciating and just like being free. Like it was like, I wasn't stressing myself out. And I realized, do I want to live my life feeling stressed out every single day? Or do I want to live my life being impactful, meaningful, and also enjoying the moment? So, and the answer is I want to live my life enjoying the moment, being in the flow. So for me, it was very clear. I don't know. Today, what I learned today was that sometimes we just need to slow down, like stop pressuring ourselves so much, stop feeling anxious, stop feeling bad when we're not as productive as we want to be. Honestly, something tells me I don't, I get to still experiment with this a little bit more, but something inside me tells me that when I actually slow down, I will speed up. What that means is when I actually get present and just go with the flow. Like when I just enjoy the process. When I instead of working, it's like work smarter, not harder. Like that's what it feels like. It's like I feel like when I just slow down and I actually take time to understand what I really need to do, in this case for my business, I feel like everything is just easy. But when I'm stressing myself out, when I'm trying to go, and I got to hustle hard, I feel like, to me personally, I feel like that's a little bit of the stupid way of doing things. Like why are we wasting so much energy and effort to feel busy, to feel productive, when sometimes, honestly, the best thing to do is we take a step back, look at what the point is, what the point of what we're doing is, and then do what's going to make the most sense. Like, I just feel like it just makes so much more sense. I will, I see some comments, so I will definitely read your comments in just a second. Before I get your comments, let me wrap this up real quick. So, an example for me was yesterday. I knew that I want to rebrand my speaking. So, as a youth inspirational speaker, if you go to richardquo.com, that's my speaking website. Right now, like my branding is all over the place. It's you can look at my branding on my website, and you can look at this card. This is my speaking card. It does not match. I'm gonna do that. So this is my business card. All right. So there we go. That's both sides of my card. The reason I share with you this is like, I mean, I think my car looks cool. It doesn't match my website though. It's kind of random. It's just like, it's a bunch of photos and stuff like that. It sort of matches, but so yesterday I was going to stay there and be like, you know what? I need to work really, really hard to rebrand myself. I need to work really, really hard to create a new brand that really represents who I am. And I could have wasted many, many, many hours, brainstorming and planning by myself. Because look, I'm not the branding expert. Like, I don't know how to brand myself. All I know how to do is go on a live stream and talk all day. Like, that's my thing. So I reach out to this wonderful person named Christine, and she is much better at branding than I am. So I sat down with her, and literally we had like a 1 hour conversation where she just ran through the whole process of, how do you create a brand? How do you, what are your core values? What's your mission? What's your vision? What colors represent you best? How do you want your, what kind of voice, who are you talking to? What's a voice that you want? And literally, I've saved so much time by, again, working smarter, not harder, by reaching out to, you can say, the expert, like reaching out to the people who know how to do it versus me just grinding and trying to do hustle, hustle, hustle. So my point is, sometimes when we just go with the flow, sometimes when we not put so much pressure on ourselves to just do, like, we actually might produce more results. That's just my situation. There are some cases where you do have to grind. If you're a student and you got exams coming up, sometimes you just got to grind. That's just the reality of it. Okay, so that's what I have to say in terms of going with the flow, and consider taking a slightly more relaxed approach for my friends who are constantly anxious all the time, such as myself. Yeah, it's, I don't know how to say it. Sometimes I feel like I live in a world that, when I'm calm, it's a fake kind of calm. It's not a real calm. It's this superficial calm that, like, okay, I'm calm, in this one little moment, but my life is crazy. It's chaotic. And I believe there's a way that we can live our life where we are, our default state of mind is calm. Like, we're just calm by nature. And then there's areas and times where we have to flex and, go, because we have stuff to do and we gotta get things done. So anyway, that's my big takeaway for today. I think that's a huge lesson for me. I'd love to know what you think. Do you think that's a big takeaway for yourself? I would love to hear. Okay, so let's get to this. I see comments, lots. Alrighty. Alrighty. Rich De La Fuente, good to see you on, brother. Nessa Bomb says, I feel you on that. Life shouldn't be that serious. Yes. By the way, I'm not done with this conversation. I'm going to keep going after we catch up with these comments right here. Okay. So let's see here. Anathox says, but there's a balance there. That tends to lead to procrastination. Okay. So Anathox, I want to comment on this. I don't want to give you the idea when I say kind of go with the flow and relax, that means we should procrastinate. I disagree with that. My intention of saying go with the flow and just, kind of relax a little bit more is, how do I say this? Sometimes we are so overly anxious that our anxiety, those all those emotions that we feel in our chest, in our mind, to the point where we just become a robot. We just become this doing machine. All we do, we just do. We don't think. And sometimes I think we can take a step back from that and really just take time to think, like, just more. So let's talk about procrastination in this context of going with the flow. I think procrastinating, to me, doesn't fit into this context, because procrastination to me is, it's resistance. It's a fear of it's like a fear of discomfort or failure, or we're afraid to do something. If that's the case, if you feel like you might procrastinate, this is one of those moments where I feel like this is where self-discipline comes in. It gets a little confusing here. So it's going to sound like a little bit of a paradox or something like that. if you know you got to do something, you got to do it, even if it feels uncomfortable. This is one of those cases where you don't get to use go with the flow, take it easy as an excuse. Like that's not my intention here. So I just want to make that very clear. I think when you got things to do, you get to do them. And I'm going to refer back to my comment from yesterday or 2 days ago, which is eat the biggest, ugliest frog first. The frog is the most important task that you have. So complete the most important task that you have first, because that's going to set you up for the rest of your day. If you complete your number one task, number one, you've already done what you had to do. Like literally, you've already accomplished your most important task. So anything that follows, it's like you're not as worried about because you already accomplished your biggest task. So that should be your biggest task is typically your biggest burden because it's the one that matters the most. But you've already done it because it's the first thing that you do. So in terms of procrastination, let's see, how do I say this? Wow, this is fascinating for me. Procrastination for me is it's avoidance. It's not wanting to do something, so you're choosing not to do it. I feel like, again, I'm not perfect, but I feel like I'm currently in a state of mind where I don't know how to say this. In this moment, I'm not going to say like tomorrow or the day after, but in this moment, I don't feel like I'm a huge procrastinator. I feel like I am pretty good. However, I still have plenty of faults in regards to procrastination. But my mindset right now is, in terms of important tasks, I do try to push those important tasks, on number one on my to-do list. Like I schedule it in at the beginning of my day, so I just knock it out, and I try to have fun in the process too. Oftentimes, we dread doing the thing that we keep procrastinating on. It's like, oh, this is so annoying. For example, I got some broken pipes in my house, and I got a broken dryer. Like all these little things that I need to fix. I'm procrastinating on those things, but they're also not my biggest priorities right now. Like I have other things to do. But I will tell you, if I just actually do those things, they probably won't be that bad. But for me, it's like, oh my goodness, I got a broken pipe. Therefore, I got to call whatever, a plumber. My dryer's broken, so I have to either replace it or have someone fix it. So these are like, yes, but once you actually do it, it's really not that bad. And little things like I got a $500 charge on my cell phone bill out of nowhere. And I'm just like, what the heck? So I call the company and then they're like, we'll call you back. They never called me back. So for me, anxiety, a little bit of frustration because it's like, well, now I have to deal with this. But honestly, like those little tasks, and I got to practice what I preach here. Those little tasks, I'd say, put it, how do I this? Schedule it, like put it on your calendar somewhere. Example, calling to fix my phone thing. Schedule it for tomorrow or the day after, whenever you're free, and then just do it. That's simple. Add it to your to-do list, just do it. Of course, rank it in that priority order. If it's not the most important thing you have to do, then focus on your priorities first. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Project Elevate says you should have at least just done some home workouts instead of or jog. That's what I do when I can't have time to commute to the gym, but still not criticizing, just my thought. No, I appreciate that thought. Although being stress-free is also good. Okay, so my thought on the how do I say it? Working out at home. I actually thought about that. I'm like, ooh, I can work out at home, but I realized if I work out at home, I still wouldn't be able to go outside and grab dinner and come back on time. Because the workout that I want to do is going to take at least 20 minutes, something like that. And how do I say this? Yeah, and then I would have to shower afterwards. So all these little things is like I calculated the hours and times and stuff like that. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for my schedule tonight. It just makes more sense for me to do tomorrow. So tomorrow I have plenty of time to exercise in the morning, which is perfect. But that's a great thought. Like if I can't go to the gym, yes, I totally agree. I fit into my schedule today. I would definitely want to work out today. But it is just not a priority for me. and I could just reprioritize that for tomorrow. It just makes so much more sense for me because tonight I'm very limited on time. Tomorrow morning I have a little bit more time. So there we go. Nice card, Vortec GF. Vortec KGF. That's funny. I remember Vortec. I don't know if you're still on, but I remember having this conversation, like trying to figure out. I think I said Vortec GF last time. You're like, no, it's Vortec KGF or something. Anyway, nice card. Thank you. Appreciate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's be here. Unorthodox says, hey, what's your opinion on uploading certain answers topics from the live stream as a separate YouTube videos? I think that's definitely a possibility. I'm more than happy to, I guess you can say, try that out. And yes, maybe, how do I say this? Will. Goodness. I'm learning this is crazy. I've been making YouTube videos for 4 years and I'm constantly like, things are changing. So my main thing is if I make YouTube videos, I want my new system. I don't want to shoot on my DSLR anymore. Like that fancy camera that costs like $700. I don't want to shoot on that anymore. Why? Because it's a hassle. I have to record it, focus is right, record it, and whatever. So now, the reason why I stopped like posting those videos is like live streams for me are so easy for me to do. And I love the process. But you're totally right. I think there are certain people who don't want, like, they don't have time to watch a hour-long live stream. So I agree with you. So now that I discovered this new thing called, we'll call it Google Hangout Live. Now that I know about this, what I can do is I can actually record separate. Sorry, I'm dropping the ball here. I have no idea what just happened. Okay, so there we go. Now that, sorry, you have no idea. I'm like trying to reorganize everything here. Now that I know I can record YouTube videos straight from my computer, that's what I'm going to start doing. So there is a chance that I'm going to record separate topics. I'm trying to figure out what's a good schedule. I don't think streaming every single day. I'm doing it right now, and I love doing it. Sustainable thing to do. So I don't know. Maybe we find a restructure for this. Maybe it's, for example, stream 3 or 4 days a week and then post 3 to 4 days of separate topics every single week as well. Or I don't know what the structure is going to be, but I agree with you. Like sometimes these are too long and they don't get to the point. So yes, but they're good conversations, right? Okay. So thank you for that reminder. And yes, I will think about it. I'll think about what's a good structure and I will do it. All right. You look like an Asian John Cena, dude. First time I've ever heard that one. I don't know how I look like John Cena, but okay. Let's see. Cupid, Araceli, good to see you. Araceli says, I still watch it when I have time. I even speed up the video on YouTube at times. Yeah, I love that trick. Again, for anyone who doesn't know the trick, you can't do it on live streams that are currently live in this moment. But if you watch videos on YouTube, whether you're on mobile or desktop, there's a function where you could speed up or slow down the YouTube videos. So I love watching videos in 1.25, sometimes 1.5 speed, because it saves time. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts and interviews with people, and yeah, you save a lot of minutes when you speed things up. All right, so that's a little life hack that I like. Okay, what we got here? Something I never end up doing it. Okay, let's see. Like, there's a lot of cool things like just popping up in my mind. Like, there's a lot of projects that I'm working on right now. Like, again, we have the Own Your Legacy Challenge that starts January 1st. So if you haven't signed up for that, that's an opportunity. Yes, I totally just put a plug in right there. If you want to if you need some support breaking some bad habits, and you want to start creating some good habits, January 1st, I'm doing a free challenge where every single day you'll get an email into your inbox, and it'll just give you it'll give you a challenge every single day, and it'll give you a challenge every single day, and I will probably record short little videos, give you like very brief instructions of what you get to do in the day. to help you out in breaking through whatever challenges. We've gotten a lot of great responses. People want to, like, some of the goals that people want to accomplish in this upcoming month. A lot of people want to lose weight. A lot of people are shy. They want to break out their shyness. We got some people who want to start businesses. We got people who want to stop procrastinating. So there's a lot of great goals for that. So there we go. I'm just going to post it because that's a great opportunity. By the way, just FYI, thank you for everyone who signed up. We have, I believe, 15 people, 14 or 15 people already signed up for this challenge in the past 24 hours, which is absolutely incredible. And I'm just really excited for it. We got, what, 3 more days until it starts? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 more days. 4 more days until it starts. I'll say 3 for people who are halfway across the world. And it's going to be a good challenge. All right. So what else do I have here? All right, let's get back to these comments and let's nail them. Okay. Goodness. All right. Hey everyone. I just want to. Sorry, I know we're a little off topic here, but like, seriously, there are so many cool things happening right now in terms of content on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. So I'm just brainstorming how do we expand this reach? How do we create more conversations? So again, we have the challenge going on. We have these live streams going on, and then we have the videos. Create separate videos to answer specific questions. I might even re-answer some of the questions that you all have asked on separate videos. That way it's more organized. I'm also considering, this is a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm considering also starting up a podcast, which is literally the recording of these live streams that we're doing right now. That way, for people who commute or whatever, you're working out in the gym and it's harder for you to watch a video, you could just go on iTunes or whatever it is, Stitcher, and download and listen to this, this live stream in a podcast format. So it's just audio. For myself, I drive a lot, so I'm always listening to podcasts, and I love things that are 1 hour long because it's just a good time frame for me. So, and if we are doing it in a podcast, it means I get to be even more intentional, which means I get to come prepared even more, which means the conversations should be a little bit more productive, fruitful, and not gibberish once in a while too. So yes, and we'll be using this awesome podcast mic that I'm using right now. So what you're hearing, the audio quality that you hear right now is going to be the audio quality of the podcast as well, which is amazing because I think the audio quality is pretty good on this mic, which I appreciate for the cheap price that it is. Jose Miguel Reyes, Jess. Wow, that's a long name. Hi, can you please send me the link for the challenge? Jose, I just posted it right now. I'll pin it. So there we go. It's the Google Forms. Just sign up for it on the Google form, and you'll get more info about that. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. By the way, people, I did not forget your comments. I am going to read through every single comment. I just get to do it one by one, so I don't overwhelm myself. But hold on. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Alrighty. What's your opinion on uploading certain? Okay. Oh no, you already answered that. Yep, answered that. Again, what book are we talking about? Sorry, Richard. Richard, do me a favor. You gotta help me out here. When you ask, was that again? Like, give me some context because there's so many conversations going on. It's hard to keep up. I can't remember what book you're talking about, so let me know. Orthodox is, so it's like stop aiming for perfection, overthinking. By the way, going back, so Orthodox is talking about the original conversation, which is, I'm guessing around going with the flow, and also like the context for anyone who's just hopping on right now. The context is a lot of us, we live our lives in constant anxiety. We're constantly, how do I say this? We always feel like we should be doing more. I don't think some people have learned how to stop being so anxious, but I think for a lot of us, we're super anxious. And We get to learn how do we just be at peace. So there is actually quite a few. Oh my goodness, I have some thought ideas right now. I got a pretty awesome person that knows a lot about anxiety that I get to have on one of these episodes where she could talk about anxiety and how do we reduce our anxiety. I think that's going to be such a great conversation. I'm super looking forward to it. That's going to happen. I don't know, sometime soon. Okay, so so it's like stop aiming for perfection and overthinking. Yes, I agree. I think we could. How do I say this? I think we could strive for perfection. Like we could work towards it. I wouldn't be so attached to the result of it. Just enjoy the process of it and do the best that you can. I don't know. That sounds so general. Like I don't feel like it's communicating on a deeper level what that is. But I'm gonna leave it at that for now. If you have if you have more questions on that, let me know and we'll dive deeper into it. Okay. Alrighty. So next, Project Elevate says, I always tend to overthink something and I never end up doing it. So it's good we talk about procrastination. Awesome. Yes. Overthinking. Oh goodness. This is interesting. So more recently, okay, so right now we're on the topic of procrastination. How do we stop procrastinating? To me, so what you need to understand about me is I'm the type of person who is very spontaneous. I don't like structure. And it's funny. I don't like structure, but I also do like structure. But I'm just saying, like, I'm a very spontaneous, random, disorganized person in many ways. And I used to live my life very like, I'll just do what I feel like, and as long as I'm doing something that is productive. So let's say I hated structure. Like I still don't like structure. Very structured, like not a lot of things are structured in my life, are they? I don't know. I think I'm becoming more structured. I think that's the truth. But let's go back to Project Elevate says, I tend to overthink. I always tend to overthink something and I never end up doing it. So it's good that we're talking about procrastination. So in my own life is that I believe that the key to stop procrastinating and overthinking things is literally like planning ahead. I used to think planning ahead was very overwhelming. Like, man, I don't feel like doing it. But seriously, like once you create a certain system, by the way, once you create a certain system, everything is so automatic. Think about it. Like literally, when I wake up in the morning, I already know what I need to do. Why? Because I have a morning ritual. When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, use the restroom, and then I do. It takes me about 30 minutes to brush my teeth, use the restroom, and then meditate. Realizations, like those are things like that's really basic things for me. System, like I don't have to think about it. So that's number one. Number two, I already have a to-do list that's not organized in order. I have a to-do list from the night before, or the previous days before. So what I do is, I mentioned this on my last stream, but what I do is I schedule things in advance. So, for example, let's say there's a big project I'm working on that. Hold on, what's an example? So the challenge, the Own Your Legacy challenge that I'm starting January 1st, right? I don't just plan one day ahead. Strategic person, but this is working for me. So let's say about 2 weeks ago, I already knew I had to plan out this whole Own Your Legacy challenge, the challenge that is that I'm doing. So what I realized for myself is, this is not one of those things where I just set a January 1st deadline and then I'll figure it out as I go. What I realized is I needed to schedule out certain days to plan certain parts of it. For example, I can't just cram everything into December 31st and hope everything works out, So what I do is like, I would write a note, a task item of brainstorm challenge ideas, and then I'll post it on Tuesday of this week plus Thursday of this week. So what that does for me is, when I put it on my Tuesday, agenda, and then my Thursday agenda, once it comes Tuesday, I already see it on my agenda. Like I don't have to rethink about what I have to do again. You know, it's already there. Everything is already scheduled out. So talking about procrastination, if you kind of like anytime a thought comes into your mind of how you need to plan something, just throw it on a calendar and pick a date. Pick a date of when you're going to do it, and then just do it on that date. So in terms of procrastination, for me, I believe it's very simple. Like I have I don't know, like 5 to 7 different task items that, you know, is my to do for the day. That I plan the day before, the days before. Morning of, all I do is I just organize what's the most important task and schedule it in order. Yeah. Out for me is inconsistent timing. Sometimes I do workouts in the morning if I have time. Otherwise, I do it in the afternoon or evening, towards the end of my workday when I have more free time, in my opinion. Get in the way of my work. Okay, so that's kind of my thought around procrastination and overthinking. Like literally, if you schedule and plan everything out, literally, like your brain can be lazy in the way you don't need to plan anything. You don't need to waste your brain cells trying to think about, how do I do this? It literally is just, it just comes. Okay. All right. What we got here, Delina says, is there anything to motivate you when you want to procrastinate? That's a great question. So now the conversation is now about procrastination. Let's do this. So if you feel like procrastinating, how do you motivate yourself? Ooh, this is I don't know how this is a tricky thing. So I see some other comments that says like Delina, there are motivational videos dedicated to that. Yes, I agree. There are so many videos out there. The problem with the internet is there's so much content and you have to go out there and find what works for you. It's definitely a possibility. So don't listen to everything that you see or read. Listen to what you agree with. So if something doesn't resonate with you, then move on. Like try something else. Goodness, I got too many thoughts here because even what I just said you could poke holes. I could poke holes in what I just said too. Sometimes what doesn't feel like it works for you sometimes is the one that works for you too. So goodness, I could just keep blabbering on about this. But anyway, I'll give you kind of my 2 cents on when you're procrastinating, how do you find that motivation? Or yeah, how do you find that motivation to push through it? I would say is to find your why. Is to find your bigger purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. You know, why are you choosing? Why do you believe it's so important not to procrastinate? And second thing, honestly, this is where the annoying part, which is discipline, comes in. It's literally just when you push yourself to not procrastinate, it's a skill. Like it's a muscle. Like you just yourself to do the most difficult task first, and you keep pushing yourself over and over again. You could fail. It's okay to fail. It's okay to screw up and, you know, not be disciplined. But the more you push yourself, eventually you're going to hit a point where responsible and actually not procrastinating becomes a habit or almost a lifestyle of yours. Again, for myself, I'm not completely disciplined, but I'm working myself towards that direction. Like there's so many people in my life that I see that are much more disciplined than I am. I always like, oh, I wish I could be like that. And honestly, like, I know that's comparing myself, which is not a great thing to do. But my main point is, if you want to become one of those people who doesn't procrastinate so much, it's all just a practice. You got to build up that muscle. You got to keep pushing yourself, and don't be discouraged. Just keep going and keep trying. Okay. Tacky Vanilla says, sorry, I already read that one. Anathox says, Delana, you must motivate yourself, and I suggest to stop using your phone 5 minutes before starting what you have to do. Okay. Awesome. Anathox recommends watching Patrick Bet David. He gives practical advice on work ethic and not general motivation guru type of things. Nice. Thanks for the recommendation. I definitely know who Patrick Bet David is. Let's see here. Anathox says, a good challenge that I want to do when the break is over is to introduce myself to at least one person every single day. That's awesome. Hey, Anathox, why not make that your challenge during the month of January? You know, set that down for yourself. Introduce yourself to one person every single day. I think that's a great challenge. Let's see. Let's see. Frog Book. Oh, hey, nice. Richard De La Fuente says, "Are you still going to be live or no?" I don't. I'm not. When are you talking about? Live now? Live later? Richard, you got to be more specific on your comments. I'm not too certain what that means. Purple diamond, purple diamondify. I have anxiety for 2018. I'm in the process of planning the year. Let's see. Yeah, planning. I don't know how to say it's like when we plan everything out, I feel like everything becomes easier. It's like I don't know how to say it. It's like sometimes we get stuck in this trap of feeling like, oh man, I feel so behind. I don't feel like I can plan. Um, goodness, hold on. Sorry, my brain's working very quickly right now. Yes, so I have a little bit of anxiety for 2018 because my goals still scare me. Booking 30 paid speaking gigs 2018 scares me. What even scares me more is if I want to hit my goal of booking 30 paid speaking gigs, in my mind, I know that mentally I get to push myself to try to aim for 50 paid speaking gigs. That way, if I fall short, I have a cushion. But if I only book 30 or, I only aim for 30, what if, I shoot too low and I only end up hitting 20? Then I didn't hit my goal. So that's my anxiety. However, what I will say is if you want to set yourself up to win for 2018, my biggest recommendation for you is to create goals for yourself. And again, the Own Your Legacy Challenge that's starting January 1st is a perfect opportunity to do that. Like literally, I'm going to give you everything that I have for free. Like literally, all my personal development training. I have spent over $10,000 in personal development trainings, seminars, events, coaching, certifications, everything like that. I don't know the exact number, but my point is for anyone who is looking to better, going to do my best to give you everything that I have, and I'm going to give you all everything that I have. Like that's just how I roll. So again, the 30-day challenge is a introduction to doing that. Okay. So there we go. Yes. Richard De Fuente. Yes. Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog is the name of the book. Indeed. Anathak says, I heard a quote that is now my favorite, and I think about it every single day. It's the process shapes you before it rewards you. Repeat that again. The process shapes you before it rewards you. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So the process, I would say the challenges, what I'm getting from this is the challenges that we go through every single day. It shapes us. It builds up our character before we got to reap the, you gotta, what do they say? You gotta sow the seeds before you reap the rewards. Something like that. The point is, I agree. And I'm very grateful that I've been on this, I almost want to call it like this humbling journey of struggling in my life. Like if you've been following me on YouTube for the past 4 years, which is quote unquote supposedly supposed to be the better years of my life where I'm work, you will still know that even these past 4 years of my life, which were quote unquote great, were still a pretty big struggle. The purpose of me saying this is that, well, at the end of the day, we have to go through these challenges in order to kind of see the rewards of it. There's one that I have. By the way, let me know if I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm talking a little bit too much in not the right ways, if that makes sense. But that's okay. I'm going to keep going. At least we're having conversations. So, oh boy, what is going on here? Whoopsie daisy. Okay. Oh goodness. Technical stuff. What was I going to say? So I just had a realization today. And I mean, it's not like completely brand new, but it's still realization. The realization for me that I had today was I was thinking about my speaking career. When I started speaking, I wanted, there was a part of me that really, really wanted to become a really good speaker really quickly. I'm like, man, I want to crush the speaking game in my first, whatever, 1 or 2 years of speaking. It's been 3.5 years now. You know, I'm going into my 4th year of speaking, which is crazy to me. And I realized even 3.5 years later, I'm still not at a place where I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm dominating this market. I'm crushing it. I'm booking so many speaking gigs. But guess what? That's okay. Like, it's literally, that is my process that has shaped me shaped me before seeing the rewards. And again, I struggled a lot with confidence my whole entire life, and I struggled a lot with confidence, I would say, these past 3 years as a inspirational speaker, which is funny because a lot of people assume because you're a quote unquote motivational speaker that you should be very motivated, which is not the case. You know, it's like we are still human beings just like everyone else. So my point is, like, I honor the journey that I've been on. I've honored I honor the struggle that I've been through in the past 3 years, especially, just, you know, not having things perfectly. And I realized all those struggles have gotten me to where I am today. Literally, this is all part of the journey. And I think the gift to me is it helps me relate with other people. It reminds me that I am human. And it also reminds me that 2018, I got to crush my goals and not be human anymore. You know, like, I'm just kidding. But it's time, you know, it's time. There's still some doubt in my mind. I'm not going to lie. There is some doubt in my mind, but I believe it is time for me to shine. You know, it's time for me to push outside my comfort zone. And I finally feel ready. I finally feel like, you know what, let's just do this. Like, let's stop holding back. Let's stop playing small. Let's stop, you know, not achieving our goals. So now is that moment where I'm like, let's just do it. You know, let's stop making excuses. Let's just freaking do it. And so that's what 2018 is for me. And the past 2-3 months has been my prep period. What was it October, September, October? I'm gonna say October, November, December. October, November, December has kind of been my prep period, especially November, December. So, like, I'm excited for 2018. For anyone who feels a little bit discouraged about 2018, like, you know, oh man, I don't feel ready. I don't feel like I have goals. I just want to let you know, number one, it's okay. Like, don't feel bad. And if I were in the position of someone who's like, man, I don't have goals, I don't think 2018 is going to be that great. You know, it feels like a struggle. I don't know what to do. I feel behind. I want to let you know that I feel you. I get you. You know, I see you. And don't be discouraged. Like, seriously, you can change your 2018 around, like, just like that. Like, it is literally just a choice. And what I mean by that is that, dang it. Sorry, I got distracted again. Trying to figure out technical stuff. What I mean by this is, like, I remember looking at my past self, and like last year or the year before, I felt so disappointed. I'm like, man, this year's going to be whatever. I didn't accomplish my goals. I had a goal for myself 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Maybe it was last year. That I was going to make $125,000. It was some random arbitrary goal, and I even made a website that I never posted anything on, and I promised people that I would keep them posted of, you know, my whole journey of trying to hit 125K. The main purpose of making this money, or like this goal, was because I knew in order for me to reach this goal, I had to, my main thing is I had to shift the way I thought about myself, because a year ago, I didn't really believe in myself. I was struggling. I was like, you know, I don't think I could really do this. The most I could probably make in a year running my own business is maybe like $20,000 to $30,000, you know, maybe. So I wanted to stretch myself. And guess what? I failed miserably. I did not get anywhere near my goal, anywhere. Like, but I don't see it as a failure. You know, like, that's the commitment that I was committed to, and I didn't do it. And that's okay. Like, that is the past, you know, like, that's gone. I don't need to focus on that anymore, because this moment right now, I have a much different sense of confidence. It's very real. And I not only do I, like, you know, believe it, like, yeah, I believe in myself, that kind of like that cheesy motivational stuff, but like deep down inside, number one, I already know I'm capable. Like, I know I can do it. I get to just stay on track and keep pushing myself. So, number one, again, I know I can do it. That's not a question. It's just, am I willing to push through the pain, the discomfort, the failures, the emotions to get to my goal? And time will tell. But I have a feeling that a lot will happen in the next 6 months or next 5 months of accomplishing my goal. Like, I've already committed to doing it. I've already created plans around it. So, and then I have support around it. So I feel like I have the right resources. Now it's just the time to do it. That's all. Oh goodness, I'm a little bit nervous still. That the doubt is a killer of dreams, right? That doubt, I still have a little bit of doubt. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing through, and I'll see you June 8th, 2018, and I'll let you know how I do, and I'll keep you posted along the way. You know, literally that's my biggest goal of the whole entire year. So I get to focus on it and just make it happen. Okay. Let's see. Araceli, let's see, says, no one is perfect, not even motivational speakers. I 110, 20 billion% agree with that. Onatech says, yes, when quote unquote bad things happen, I look at it as a learning experience and another way to relate to others and be grateful. And Araceli says, same. So there is this really cool quote by, I don't remember who it's by. Never mind, whatever. The quote where I heard it from was this girl named Christine. And the quote is Amor Fati. And it's one of her favorite quotes. And I really do like this quote a lot. Amor Fati. Amor, like love. It's Latin for love of fate. So amor, love. Fati is fate. So love of fate. The purpose of this quote to me is, it's this idea, again, this is perfect with the conversation of going with the flow. So going with the flow, amor fati, love of fate. Like, just love the way things are. Love of fate means that like, just love fate. It means that whatever way your life goes, whatever challenges that you go through, be like, accept it for what it is. Even sad things, like let's say someone dies in your family, or you get into a car accident, or whatever it is. Like, amor fati is, love of the fate. So if something quote unquote bad happens, just go with the flow. Accept it, let it be. And this kind of goes along with the idea of everything happens for a reason. It's I think people who become victims of their circumstances will complain about it. They'll complain about, man, this is so unfair. Like life gave me all this crap. Life, you believe in God, God, or the universe, or whoever, just gave me such a crappy life. I have bad relationships and all this stuff. And again, I want to go back to Amor Fati, which I think is such a great thought. And the thought is, whatever happens in your life, good or bad. Another great example of this is, let's talk about relationships, friendships, or romantic relationships, or whatever it is. Breakups is a great thing. Splitting of ways, friendships, again, anything. Sometimes we feel really hurt. We feel really hurt when we're heartbroken, or when someone rejects us. And I really like this idea of amor fati. This idea of love your fate. And again, in this context, it's like, don't be attached to the results. Don't be attached to the friendship or the relationship that you're in, or whatever it is. If it leaves and you're no longer a friend or no longer in a relationship, love the fate. Accept it for what it is, and take it. See the positive in it. What did you learn from the experience? And then just move on. Like, that's it. So that's really what that is. Okay. Whew. All right, let's do this. When are you going to email for challenge? You still get nervous about public speaking. Okay, so when am I going to email for the challenge? The first email will probably go out on January 1st. I love, hold on. Do I want to check it out? Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm going to check out how many responses we have. We are at 16 responses, meaning 16 people have signed up for this. And it is so cool to see where people are from. Like, I'm so glad like people wrote down their age. We got people age 14 to 38. So we got like literally it's everything from 14 to 38. And it's like one of each age is here. It's pretty cool. Let's talk about where are people from. So we got people from a lot of Northern Cal. We got people from California, South Carolina, South Korea. We have Morocco. We got Zambia. We got India. We got Serbia. We got New Zealand, Dominican Republic. Like, wow, this is super cool. Like everywhere. Submitted their form from New York, which is probably one of you. Yeah, so this is super cool. Is that some? Oh, we got 17 responses now. So thank you, whoever just submitted the response. I can totally see. Oh, I know who just did it because I see it right here. So yes, I'm going to figure out the earliest time zone, which I believe is probably going to be somewhere in Asia. I'm going to think about that, and my goal is to post the challenge. You know what? I'm going to post the challenge probably, if you're in America, probably somewhere around midnight. That way people on the other side of the globe will get the response in the early morning, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning. That way you have the full day to work on your challenges and accomplish them. So for anyone who is participating right now, I think I almost feel like the majority of people who are watching this live stream have signed up, which thank you so much. I'm humbled. I feel super grateful that you're be a part of this. Let's see. The one thing I did not mention yet, which I will mention probably in the first email. I'll probably make a video about it too, and I'll try to be brief. I don't want to waste your time. I know you're super busy and you have things to do. But each day or each challenge, my goal, the way it's structured, is at most it will take 30 minutes, and 30 good minutes. I'm not going to waste your time. Like these are 30 minutes where you're going to be like, okay, I understand why I'm doing it. And some days it might not even take. It'll take like 5 minutes, or maybe some days it might not even take that. You know, it's just you'll see. All right. Cool. So hold on. Okay, cool. Just reading some messages, getting distracted, all that good stuff. Alrighty. So purple diamond. Let's see. Thank you for sharing your story about your public speaking career. You're welcome. Do you still get nervous about public speaking? Yes. How do I say this? Yes and no. Comfortable speaking in general. However, yes, I do. Yeah, that's the real answer. Yes. Of I would say if you put me in front of a large crowd of like 1,000 people, I will get nervous. If you put me in front of a crowd of even 30, it depends on the context in a way. Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, I still do get nervous when I speak. And to give you context, I have live audience over 150 times now. And so if that gives you any kind of context, you know, if that tells you anything, is that it's still scary to do public speaking for most people. And if you feel nervous public speaking, know that it's normal. That's my main point. And you just, you know, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still confident, but I'm nervous. I don't know if that makes sense. Like there's just like I get nervous every single time I speak because I know every single speech is different. The content might be the same, but the delivery is different. It's like, for me, I'm all about being connected, present, and in the moment. So my nervousness comes from this idea that I want to do whatever I can in this hour that I have to speak to these students to make the biggest impact that I possibly can. And I am a little bit hard on myself. Like sometimes when I walk out of a speech and I'm like, oh, dang it, you know, I didn't feel like I really connected with them. I kind of beat myself up a little bit because I'm like, I should have done better, you know? And I know that's the area I got to work on, is not being so self-critical, because when I'm self-critical, sure, that helps me improve, but honestly, it probably hurts me more than it helps me. So that's where I get to improve. I want to take let's see. Okay. It says, I feel less guilt and regret about my path. Sweet. Onathox says, thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Tokyo Dragon says, hey, Richard, what's your dating life situation right now? Thanks. Oh, goodness. We're getting personal here now, huh? Yeah. All right. So dating life, I'll talk about it. Sure. Why not? So I met this girl like, a little over a month ago, and we've been dating. Like, we've been dating. Things have been going well. Honestly, I know this is super honest. It's pretty early to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I don't know how to say it. Like, things are going well. Like, I've learned so much from me dating this girl. Like, it's been, I don't know how to say it. It's been amazing. Oh goodness. Ha. All right. No, I had a thought. I'm not going to share it, but I had a thought. I'm like, I wonder who's on right now. So let's see. What I'll say is, like, this past month of dating this girl has been absolutely amazing. I've learned so much about myself, and I've learned so much about what relationships are and what relationships aren't. So what I'll tell you right now is, we are always going to we're always going to create our own belief about what a relationship is or should look like. We see the outside world. So I don't know how to explain this in detail, but sometimes, like, what I do know is the relationship I'm in right now is, I think it's, we are super supportive. Like, there's so much openness, acceptance. There's vulnerability. There's connection. There's like all these great, amazing things, and that I didn't realize, like, that didn't. I don't know how to say, like, didn't really matter as much, or I don't know how to say this. It's like, I've learned a lot of, like, what a relationship is, and I still don't, like, I only feel like I know percent of what a relationship is. Like, it's crazy, like, is until you actually get into one. And I'm still really fresh, so I still don't know what a relationship is. It is what you make of it. Like, that's literally what it is. Um, like, I don't know. Maybe some relationships end up being the way you think it'll be, but I feel like a lot of relationships won't end up being the way you think it'll be, because every single person is completely unique. It's crazy. Like, again, I've dated 50 people, so I know very well that, every single time I date someone, I visualize. I'm like, what would life be like with this person? And all 50 people I've dated, life would be so different. It would be so different, because your partner's personality is going to affect your life so much. So, and then going back to, how do you know if you found the right person? I don't know. It's one of those, you kind of just know. And yeah, that's what I'll say. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave it at that. All righty. Hold on, I'll answer these relationship-related questions, and then I'll dive back into the other questions that I see that you have. Onathox, so, oh, you thought your girlfriend was on. First of all, not girlfriend, dating right now. Just clarifying. Not that that's that big of a deal. No, I thought it was someone relevant to the person that I'm dating. That's all I have to say. Okay. Did he help you, Purple Diamond? I will get back to Purple Diamond. I will get back to your question in just a second. Cupid, or Araceli, aka Cupid, says, in one of the past vocal classes, every student had to practice a song and perform in a different way. We critiqued. Wait, hold on. Okay, that's different. Okay, I'm gonna flip back to Purple Diamond's question, which is, you spend $10,000 on personal development. Do you ever regret the purchases? How do I say this? No. So, goodness, I'm trying to think. I've spent a lot of money on personal. I've spent a lot of money on personal development. I have friends. I know friends who have spent over $500,000 on personal development. So, it's all relative. Like, I remember my first personal development investment was of $2,500 in a transformational training program, and I was freaking out of my mind. I was like, I'm not telling my mom because she would freak out. So I didn't tell my mom how much it was until later on, until she's like, hey, you're doing this program. Like, I see you're very active in this. How much did it cost? And I'm like, 2,500. And she's like, what? What? You spent that much money? I'm like, yes. And it was totally worth it. Straight up, totally worth it. Like massively changed my life. It gave me such a huge foundation. And if you ever seen a photo of Richard with abs anywhere floating on YouTube or Facebook, that is thanks to the transformational training that I did. I broke through so many different limiting beliefs, and literally, again, I'm taking all that knowledge that I learned and I'm applying it to this next month challenge, the Own Your Legacy challenge that we're doing starting January 1st. So, yes. What else? So I will tell you, I'll open up about some things. Spending money on personal development. I've invested in a lot of different things. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Yeah, 10 to 15. Yeah. Anyway, honestly, I feel like I don't feel like I've spent that much on personal development. Like 10,000 to me is meh. It's okay. Like it's decent. Again, I got most of my entrepreneur friends have invested like 50,000, or I would say 20 to 100,000 is like the average. It can get really expensive, but totally worth it, because it's like, is your life worth $10,000? That's such a loaded question, but like, yes, so much. So here, Purple Diamond. I want to answer another interesting part of this question. I'm not going to call out names because I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to gossip, but I hired a coach back in the day, and let's see, I decided that it wasn't going to work out for me, and I paid thousands of dollars, and this person refused to refund the money. So it's interesting because at that moment when I invest the money, I did not have money. Like I was struggling, and it hurt a lot that I couldn't get my refund of a few $1,000s. But even for me, that was worth it for me. Like, I don't know how to say it. It's like, it sucked, but at the same time, amor fati. Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, amor fati. It's, oh, dang it. I just thought about something else. Sorry. I should stop saying everything on my mind. Like, I had to respond. I need to get off soon so I could talk to someone, aka the girl I'm dating. Okay, sorry. I told her I'd call her like 13 minutes ago. So, anyway, let's finish this up and let's go to that. Priorities. So anyway, my point is, I feel like everything that I've spent, like I don't regret it, even though I lost a few $1,000s because they chose to just take my money and not give it back. Like, to me, it's a learning opportunity. Like, I don't want to keep holding on to that for the rest of my life. I want to focus on, let's see, I want to focus on like moving forward, like focusing on my vision, not focusing on the past, not focusing on being a victim, not focusing on complaining that I lost this money, So to me, it's worth it. Okay. Let's see. I saw Brian Tracy 4 years ago in London at 19. Now I'm 24. So I feel guilty I haven't. Sweet. I saw Brian. Wait, yeah. No, sorry, not Brian Tracy. I did not see Brian Tracy. I saw Jack Canfield. That's who I saw. Let's see. All right, I'm going to ignore personal questions for now. Let's see. Achieve my goals. Beating myself up because the 5-year plan didn't work out, so I'm lost. What? Hold on. Oh, I see. I saw Brian Tracy 4 years ago in London at 19, and now I'm 24. So I feel guilty. I haven't achieved my goals, beating myself up because the 5-year plan didn't work out, so I'm lost. Purple Diamond. What I'm going to tell you right now is forgive yourself. Seriously, don't be so hard on yourself. And I know that sounds so common. I'm sure you've heard that billions of times already, but seriously, stop beating yourself up. It's not helpful at all. I get to tell myself this also, and I am telling myself this also. So what I've learned is when you keep feeling disappointed and guilty and ashamed and all these things, all that does is you're becoming a victim of your circumstance. You're becoming a victim. You're becoming the sad story that that feels good to you. Like, oh, you know, man, I'm not that good of a person. I can't accomplish my goals. And what you got to do is you got to shift. You know, don't focus on that. I know this sounds in that situation, so I know as I'm speaking, you know, easier said than done. I know I should do that, and then you feel more guilty because you're not doing it. I've been there. So really just give yourself permission to accept where you are, and to just like allow yourself to reset. Like, let tomorrow be day one. Tomorrow be day one. Start over. The past is the past. The past is gone. And trust me, to you, I'm putting myself in your shoes where I would think you're saying that tomorrow's day. You're right, Richard, but I don't feel like it. You know, I still feel really discouraged or whatever. Like I think that I'm feeling, but trust me, I know how you feel, and stop beating yourself up. Start over. Like, the past is the past. Screw f the past. Like don't worry about what's happened in the past. The past is the past. I didn't make 125K like I said I would. I made a public declaration on my Facebook where over 100 people, which is a lot for me, 100 people liked my post. You know, people like Peter Voogd, who is this serial entrepreneur. I committed to him. You know, this guy has thousands upon thousands of followers. I committed to him that I was going to hit 125K in 1 year. And guess what? I completely bombed it. You know, completely bombed it. Like, not even close. By 6 figures or more. Like, I did not make a lot of money this year. Anyway. There we go. So don't feel discouraged. That's all. That's my point. Okay, Araceli, I'm gonna. Wow, holy goodness, we do have a good amount of comments. I'm gonna answer all your questions, and then I'm gonna hop off. So if you got comments, please make them good, and get off and talk to the Bay. But before I do that, literally, here I'll tell you what I'm typing out loud. Sorry, this is to the girl I'm dating. Sorry, still streaming. Literally typing this out in the middle of my stream while talking out loud, so my viewers know what I'm doing in this moment right now. I'll talk to you soon right after. Okay, boom. Let's do this. We are back. Wasn't that funny? Alrighty. Okay, Araceli says, in one of my past vocal classes, every student had to practice a song and perform it in a different way. We get critiqued on it, get feedback or compliments from the professor and other students. Sometimes when the performance didn't go well, a student sometimes says that they could have done better. But my professor says that they couldn't have done better because if they did, they would have done better. Like, you're as good as much as you practice. Oh, deep. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to summarize that. Real quick. So what Araceli is saying is essentially everyone had a performance in the class. You know, they had to sing, and then someone was like, man, I could have done much better than that. No, you couldn't have done much better, because if you did, you would have done much better. You're only as good as you practice. So I love this this kind of scenario, or this story, because it's like, it reminds me that I don't know, for me it's like, we always feel like we could do better, sure, but I agree, we're only as good as we practice. Like, when I speak on stage, it's the same thing. When I speak on stage, and I'm called, you know, Araceli, you're indirectly, like, you're calling myself out. I'm calling myself out right now. Let's see. When I speak on stage, I always kind of beat myself up. I'm like, man, Richard, you could have done so much better. But that is so true. We can only do as good as we practice. So I have this super high expectation of how I want to do. And reaching the expectation is actually really challenging, because it's oftentimes unrealistic. So just know that you can only be as good as you practice. And maybe a little bit better than that too. All right. I hope Richard De La Fuente, you said Purple Diamond. I hope Richard can help me with what I am going through. Richard De La Fuente, I don't know how many times I need to repeat this. I am here for you. Like literally, I'm calling you out just a little bit, but like sometimes it feels like you think I'm missing your questions. Like literally, I'm waiting for your questions. I'm here. I want to answer your questions. So keep asking them. I think there is a little bit of a communication challenge. I don't know where that's coming from. But like seriously, I'm here for you. Like, keep asking your questions. I'm here. I'll answer all the questions that you have. If you want to set up a call, I'll be happy to set up a one-on-one call with you for free. Like that. There we go. You know, you already have my email address. We're talking there, so that's what I have to say. Alrighty. So yep. Araceli says, okay, I've only spent about 2025 on programs. That does not include books. Honestly, that's great. Like seriously, 2,200. That's a lot. You know, it's all relative, right? It's all like some people $500 or maybe $100 is a lot. I remember when I started doing personal development, I did not spend like I didn't even want to buy a book. You know, I'm like, I don't want to spend $20 on a book. I can just read stuff online. And then all of a sudden now I'm like $10,000 deep into this stuff. So it's okay. Like it's just as long as you see the return on investment, that's all that really matters. Again, that person, my friend who's invested over $500,000 into himself, US dollars, that guy is making hundreds and thousands of dollars, if not millions, because he understands the return on investment. So that's what I have to say. Alrighty, Tokyo Dragon says, how do we stop being so... Oh, sorry, give me a second. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we're good. Okay, Tokyo Dragon says, how do we stop being so self-conscious? Happens to me when I'm in public. I feel as if people are negatively judging everything I do. What do we do with this? Why is it so hard to accept ourselves? Such a great question. So many different layers here. I'm going to copy and paste this. By the way, if you want me to answer, make a separate YouTube video and answer questions, I'm going to do that. This is a great question that I'm also going to re-answer in a separate YouTube video that is shorter and more just focused on this question because it's good. So, wow. Again, how do we stop being so self-conscious? Happens to me when I'm in public as I feel as if people are negatively judging everything I do. What do we do with this? Why is it so hard to accept ourselves? I could talk about this for a whole entire hour. Seriously, like there's so much to this. It's nuts. Let me try to condense this as short as possible. So how do we stop being so self-conscious? One word answers for each one of your questions, and then I'll explain. So first of all, how do we stop being so self-conscious? Stop caring what other people think about us. Okay, what's the second question? Happens to me when I'm in public. I feel as if people are negatively judging everything I do. Why do we do this? Conscious because we seek social acceptance and we don't want to get rejected. Question: why is it so hard to accept ourselves? Because I believe we have very high expectations of ourselves that are very unrealistic. Be better. So those are the short answers. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. Being so self-conscious by people think about us. I know that sounds. If I just told you stop caring about what other people think about you, that is very hard to do based off no backup information. So let's try to into more practical stuff. How do you stop being so self-conscious? Practical. Stop caring about what other people think about you. Number one, it's a practice. If you want to be less self-conscious, it's a practice. Like literally, it's practice going into social settings and not caring what people think about you. Like literally, go there and just be like just say whatever the heck you want to say. Make a fool of yourself. Don't be afraid to be embarrassed. Don't be afraid to fail. Just freaking do it. Have fun with it. And if you're scared, like if you don't want to feel judged by your friends, if you don't want to practice on your friends and ruin those relationships and ruin how they might judge you, practice on strangers. Like seriously, strangers are the best thing ever. Like strangers, you're never ever going to see them ever again. So practice on a stranger. Go up to a stranger and like, hey, how's it going? Ah! You know, like whatever the heck you want to do. Have fun with it. Like come up with little challenges that you know, like let's say you're trying to work on a specific something. Let's say you're shy. Let's say you want to ask a girl out. This is a perfect example. So if you want to, if there's a cute girl that you want to ask out, I don't know how to say this. One, you could try it on that girl. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You could fail, you know, learn from it. Honestly, there's so many fish in the sea that don't be caught up on just one girl. But if she is like, she's the one, she's so perfect, everything like that. If you feel that way, then I don't know, just do your best. That's all you could ask for. But a good way to get over that self-consciousness is go up to girls, strangers, girls that you think are cute, and go try to ask them out. Get rejected. Like pretty much kind of the only way you're going to learn how to stop being self-conscious is by actually doing it, is by actually trying. The more you stay in your little turtle shell and you hide, you curl up in a ball and you don't take action, you're like, man, no, I don't want to talk today. I'm shy. The more you do that, you're never going to not be shy until you do something about it. So that's all. Like if you want to stop being shy, if you want to stop being so self-conscious, put yourself out there, risk yourself, be stupid, be crazy, all that kind of stuff. That's how you break through that barrier. Okay, let's go to the second question. Happens to me when I'm in public, as I feel as people are negatively judging everything I do. What do we do? Why do we do this? Okay, so let's talk about feeling judged negatively. First of all, if someone judges you, that is nothing personal to you. So don't take it personally. Okay? If someone judges you, don't take it personally. The way people see you is only a reflection of them. It's only a reflection of their history, their past, and everything around that. So if someone thinks you're a loser, or if someone thinks you're weak or gay or whatever it is, don't take offense to it. Like the only time is if we give the power to the other person to allow us to hurt us, you know? Like we are in control of our own emotions. So like if someone judges you, let them judge you. Like don't worry about it. Look, I get it. Easier said than done. I get it. I probably know what you're thinking because I've been there. So let's see here. As I feel. Okay, so if people are negatively judging you, like work on not giving an F, like work on just brushing it off, not caring so much. Or the second thing you could do is, honestly, it's like don't associate with yourself who are going to judge you. One of the greatest things I like about the person I'm dating is that she is so accepting. Like I have these insecurities. Here, let me give you a good one right here. Perfect real life example. One of my top 3 deepest, darkest secrets. Some of you might laugh at this, and if you watch my YouTube videos, you might have already heard this one before. One of my top 3 deepest, darkest secrets in my whole entire life was, get this one, that I used to play video games. That, I mean, it's not a secret anymore. Like I don't care. I could share that with you. I don't really care. But before, that was one of my deepest, darkest secrets. Why? Because I grew up in an environment where gaming was super shameful. Gaming equals you're wasting your life, you're worthless, you know, like you're just like, it's such a waste of time. Stop playing games. So that was the environment I grew up in. I remember every single time my brother would walk into the room, I would close my game, you know, exit out of it. And the thing is about when you're playing games, you can't quit your games. Like your team is depending on you, you know? So it's like, and I was, wait, what? Hold on. I don't want to, okay. We're talking about negatively judging. So, my brother judged me so hardcore. Like I remember one time, gaming was my secret life. Like that I played games. I hid it from him. And one day he came over and we were just having a conversation. He's like, "Oh, dude, Richard, I'm so glad I'm not like one of those losers who still plays video games. Like, what a waste of time. You know, it's so stupid." I just thought that I'm like, oh yeah, And like I felt so hurt. I felt so like I felt really hurt. I'm like, you know, I know you're not trying to be a dick, but you don't realize that I play video games every single day. You know, this was a few years ago. So let's go back to you know, you're being negatively judged, right? By everything that I do. Sometimes I feel like my brother does that. I love my brother. He's my biggest role model. Like my brother's amazing, but sometimes I feel like he judges me. Um, and this is one of those moments where I realize I got to stop giving a crap what my brother thinks about me. You know, so if I'm confident, if I step into my power and I know what's right, what's wrong for me, it doesn't matter what my brother thinks. Same thing goes to your friends. You know, whoever's judging you, if you know whatever the heck you're doing is true to you, is the right thing to do, screw what anyone else thinks. You do you. That's what I have to say. Okay. And if people are negatively judging you and you know you don't want to be around that negativity, guess what you got to do? Remove yourself from it. I love my brother. I want to spend more time with my brother, and I do spend more time with my brother. But when my brother is being judgmental, when my brother is pushing his agenda on me, Kevin Quo, if you're on right now, Big Pig, he knows I love him. Like seriously, I talk to my brother almost every single day, and we have great conversations. But when my brother starts to judge me, now I'm smart enough to know, nope, I'm not hanging out there. I'm not. I don't, you know, I don't talk trash about him, but I remove myself from that negativity, that judgment, because my values are not perfectly the same. You know, we have a lot of similar values, but there's some values where we're different, and that's where I excuse myself, and you know, I don't engage in that negative judgment. I that's all. Okay. So there we go. Why do we do this? I think we're pretty good on the answer. Why is it so hard to accept ourselves? It's so hard to accept ourselves. I believe it's so hard to accept ourselves because we judge ourselves. Oh goodness, I've been talking too much on this topic, but it's a good answer, right? Let's see. Hold up. Dang it. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Are we that far behind? We are in our comments. Holy goodness. Oh my goodness. There are way too many comments to catch up with right now. Okay. Hopefully a good answer for you. Why is it so hard to accept ourselves? It's so hard to accept ourselves because we judge ourselves, because we have high expectations for ourselves. Okay, so I hope that was a good answer. By the way, I'll probably make another YouTube video answering this question, repeating almost exactly what I just said. All right, sounds good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, at this point, I'm going to read silently or we'll see. Hold on. Okay. Tokyo Drugs, accept the present because blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. By the way, anyone who's saying thank you, you're welcome. I just want to I want to get to these questions that you're asking, so I don't let's see. I don't want to miss anything. It's probably because blah blah blah. Something okay. Hold on. Okay. I see a lot of great conversation. I'm not please forgive me if it's not a question. I'm probably not going to address it right now. I can talk forever. Like if you give me anything to talk about, I'll talk about forever. Okay. Cool. Wait. We're almost caught up. I'm almost caught up with reading these comments. Purple Diamond says, "Thank you so much, Richard Quo. I was about to give up on everything for everything. Your feedback really helped me. You're welcome. Like seriously, that's why I'm here. Like this. It brings me so much joy. It brings me so much joy to have this opportunity to give back. Like you are fulfilling my life purpose right now in this moment. Like all I want to do is I just want to give and just be happy. You know, so contribution is such a big part of my life, and without people like you here, you know, without people actually what I'm saying, it's like I don't feel like I'm living my life purpose. So that's one part. The other side is just being happy in general. So thank you. I don't text this. Be careful with the gay example because you might offend people. I'll talk about this real quick. Let's see. I'm not too concerned. I know I use the word gay. I don't mind too much because my intention. Look, I love gay people and I have a lot of gay friends, and I respect gay people, like because gay people are just people, you know. So I know you're right. You're right. I get to be a little bit more careful, but in general, I fully accept like they're just people. So I just want to put that out there. That's no, none of that was intended. It was like I was saying it from a voice of someone else that would, I was talking from a third person perspective of someone who might think like that. I don't know. Okay. That's what I got. All right. Blah, blah. Okay. Awkward. Yeah. By the way, thank you so much for these comments. Sorry that I didn't get to them until right now. Adiela says, thanks, Araceli. Toads relates on self-acceptance and self-love. I wish these things were taught to us as kids. Spent a lot so long not liking myself. Took a long time to realize that. Hey, Araceli, thank you so much. I think thank you for you have so many great comments, and thank you for engaging and kind of having conversation with other people. You always have great ideas. Purple Diamond says, please upload this to YouTube if you can. This topic you have answered to perfection. I have been struggling with this for years. Awesome. That I will do. Onathak says, the only time I play video games is for YouTube, and it's still fun. Cool. Awesome. I say cool, awesome, because we are completely caught up with comments. Sorry I didn't engage as much as I want to with the comments. It's just there was just so many, so much going on that it was hard to. But we are at the end of our stream. I kept the girl waiting. I said I would, I said I would talk to her right afterwards. So I got to do that. All right. Hey everyone, thanks so much for hopping on. Before I go, wait, there's a really quick announcement that you need to know, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow I will not be streaming. The reason for that is because I'm volunteering at this thing called I don't know if you ever heard of this before. I think it's people know about it around the world. It's called the Rose Parade, which happens in Pasadena, or the Tournament of Roses, and it's where they make these floats. And so I am in charge of. I'm volunteering, and I'm in charge of this organizing all the volunteers for 400 volunteers. So that'll be fun. Which means because I'm at that, I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I'll be streaming the day after on Saturday, the 30th, 8 p.m. Los Angeles time, Pacific Standard Time. Okay, I will post a little YouTube reminder thing. Get notified so you know when the next one is. Okay, and is now that I understand how to use this technology called a computer and YouTube, I will schedule all the upcoming streams ahead of time, so you kind of know the schedule. Again, it's pretty much I stream pretty much every single day except for certain days I have events such as tomorrow. Okay, so that's what I have. Thank you so much for hopping on, Cupid. You're welcome, and everyone. Seriously, I hate to be so generalized because you all matter, but I want to say thank you, everyone, all of you, for participating, contributing to the conversation, engaging. I hate going through a list and missing people like Adiola, Onathex, Richard La Fuente, Purple Diamond, Tokyo Dragon, Araceli, plus everyone else. I'm sorry if I missed your name. Doesn't mean you're less significant. It just means that there's a lot of names. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for engaging and making this what it is. So I'll see you in 2 days, okay? Again, if you haven't signed up for the 1 month challenge, go ahead and sign up. We are currently at, let's see our count. Our count is currently at 18. We got 18 people signed up for the challenge. We'll call it the 30-day Own Your Legacy Challenge. And click the link. There's a little paragraph that'll explain to you a little bit more. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. See you in 2 days. Okay. Bye.